Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Crazy. All right. So, thanks for joining or watching or whatever. This is my first time doing this, so it might be a little rocky. We'll see how it goes. Feel free to chat me as we go or, leave me a comment afterwards. So, here's what we're doing. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to a conference called NDC Oslo, and out there I'm going to be running a little game show where I ask silly JavaScript questions and people get to win fabulous prizes from the sponsors. But in order to do that, I need a little runner. I need something I can put on my laptop, a little web app that's going to show the questions, show the players' score, a timer, some stuff like that. I'm mocking the whole thing off of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so we're going to kind of ham it up around that and really play that up. So we're going to build this thing live from like the ground up together. You're going to be what I like to call a cardboard developer. So I'm going to basically tell you what I'm thinking along the way so that it can help me go faster, and hopefully it can help you learn something about how other people approach code or something about tools or whatever. Because I've shipped a lot of software and it's not all great, but a lot of it is. And you probably want to do that too. Anyway, let's get started. So as I like to kind of think about software, I don't start with code. I like to start with pictures. I like to draw out what we're doing. So ultimately, what I'm imagining for the UI of this thing is, here's the screen. We're going to have like a question printed here with like 4 multiple choice answers that the user will, or the contestant is going to get to play. While that's up on the screen, there's going to be basically like a ladder of the scores. So if you've ever seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, it's like dollar amounts going from, $10 to $1 million. And as they answer more questions, the questions get harder and they elevate up the ladder. Now, we're not going to be giving away $1 million. We're going to be giving away different sponsor prizes. So in that thing, we'll probably have like sponsor logos or pictures or something like that. So we'll have this thing here. We probably need another button or some sort of indication, because the flow of the show is, the contestant will say, hey, I think the answer is B. And I ask, hey, is that your final answer? Yes, go, add a little bit of drama. So I need like a little button or something here that says final answer, just so I can hit it and, make something happen. Now we're going to have some other things that need to happen here. There's obviously going to be like a setup port where we're going to have, the player's name. For some of the questions, there's going to be a big timer that goes and counts down so that they have to answer it quickly. And then depending on the outcome, there's going to be like a result screen, a winning, like they win, they lose, whatever. So I don't want to do that. So the flow of this that I'm thinking of is we're going to have like the first screen is like a setup screen or a setup state. And then we're going to proceed to like the game. And the game is going to need to keep some status about like, I forgot. There's one other part of this, lifelines. So as the user is playing this game, they have a few chances to like ask others, get help on the question. They are called lifelines. And so we're going to have 3 lifeline buttons or indicators, like probably right above the question. And it's going to be things like, I think it's 50-50, which eliminates 2 of the bad answers. We're going to say ask the audience, which will basically be about like, hey, letting the audience scream. And then ask a speaker, where we'll have some of the other speakers at the conference hanging out and you get to like pick one of them and say, hey, what do you think it is, kind of thing. So we need to keep that state as well. So when the game is going, we have like the user's score, the user's lifelines, and then we're going to want to like remember some things as well. So we're going to have like some state. So the state that we're going to need to capture is like for a current game, all of this stuff. But we're also going to want to remember that like, hey, we have this list of questions that we've shown, and we don't want to show the same question twice. If we've shown it to contestant 1, we don't want to like show the same one. So we need like some sort of questions shown concept. And then, I don't know, probably some way to get this back so I remember who won what at the end of the game. Now, I don't think we need to store this anywhere yet. We might want to enhance it at some future point, but I think right now we're just going to take all of this stuff and stick it in local storage on the browser, just so I don't have to deal with deploying a server or anything like that. I might think about doing something in the future with like, I don't know, maybe Firebase or my own Node app or something, but that's definitely not a minimum viable game or whatever. So yeah, once the player is done because either they reached the top score, they opted to quit, or I suppose we need some sort of quit state here as well. So when the players decide that they're done, or they get a question wrong, we're going to have like a final result. And at the end of that result, we'll show like, here's what you won, or here's what you could have won if you hadn't opted out, or whatever. So here's roughly the states of the app as I see them. Now, we'll probably learn a whole lot more as we go, but I think this is probably enough for us to start. All right, so let's switch and actually do some code. All right, so I took the liberty of getting ahead on this. And created a GitHub repo for it already. So this is in one of my company's organizations. This is going to be a Track.js, or it's going to be a JavaScript quiz. So Track.js is going to be kind of the holder of this. And I did just a really basic setup of this. So I have an empty README, a simple TypeScript configuration, because I think we're going to use TypeScript, and define the basic of the package. The only things that I'm really bringing down already is I am going to use Preact for the basic structure of it. Preact is like a subset of React that runs a little faster, which I like. And then I'm going to bring in Track.js for error monitoring, make sure it works, and the request metrics browser agent so that I can check performance of it and make sure it's working as fast as I need it to. All the other things that we're going to need, this is basically, I just copy and pasted this from another project I worked on. Often we'll have like, I'll do the same thing or similar things over and over again. So this is my boilerplate kind of thing. So I already have this brought down, and I'm going to use VS Code to run it. Cool, cool, cool. Now, a while ago, I built a thing. I may as well just show it. I built a thing called Shifty Site, which is like this silly game about like a shifting e-commerce site. And it's got some similar things. It's like an arcade game style thing. And so I'm going to use some of the stuff that I already built for this, and I'm going to port it into the new thing. So I happen to have the source of that already kind of handy. And I'm just going to have this here with me in case I want to use something, because I'm sure that I will. So right now, my JavaScriptaire application doesn't really have anything. I have no source files. I don't have a Webpack configuration. I don't really have anything. So the first step that I think we need to do, and so I'm going to just make like a rough to-do list for myself, because this is kind of how I like to think about the work, is I just have a plain text doc of like, here's my steps. I want a simple web app start, hello world, Webpack. So get, a very simple thing up and going. Then we need to create our setup screen, which basically just takes the name of the person. Once we have a setup screen, let's see, what are we going to do next? So we'll start the game, and let's just get a question to show. And I think that might be as far as I get on this particular stream, and then we'll maybe do it again later this afternoon or tomorrow and go a little bit farther. But I think this is a good place to start. Okay, so let's get a simple web app working. So I need essentially an HTML document somewhere as like the base of things to run on. So I'm going to create a index.ejs file. And the reason I'm making it an EJS file is, one, I've done that a bunch of times before, but specifically, if you look over here in Shifty site, I like to inject interesting things into the HTML itself. So I can see like the version of the app running and what time it was built at and stuff like that. It's things just so I can understand and debug state, which I think are very important. So I'm actually just going to lift this as a starting place. Let's make this a little bigger since this is my main thing. All right, so we have a blank HTML document. We can give this a title. Who wants to be a JavaScript? Now I'm gonna, because this is like in Norway where I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be using like their spelling of this, which I think is kind of fun and funky. Okay. So we have our main element, which is the app, and then this was rendering a footer with some stuff in it that I don't think I need to do yet. So we're just gonna skip out of that. Now I need something to do this with. So let's bring in Webpack. So I want to create it in the root. Ugh, I hate how it does that. Webpack.config.js, cool. Let's look at what I had here as a starting point. So I need the file system. I'm going to bring in the main package. I'm probably going to want to copy some things maybe. Definitely going to be using HTML, definitely going to be using CSS. The development mode will be in development mode unless I override it. We're going to need a thing called main TSX. So let's create that. That's our main starting point. And then if I end up wanting to host this somewhere, by default, I'll start with just using GitHub Pages. And the GitHub Pages configuration wants you to put like final stuff in docs. So that's what this is kind of set up to do. I'm not sure if we're going to need it yet, but like we'll just leave that for now. We're going to create a dev server by hosting what's in docs. We're going to watch all the files in our source directory. We're going to build some source maps for dev. We're going to look at TypeScript files, TypeScript React files, and JavaScript files. We're going to load HTML. We're going to load TypeScript. We're going to load CSS. Oh, and then we're going to need to load images at some point, probably. But I don't know if I have that one. No, I do not have that one. npm install URL loader, save dev, save exact. I always do save exact because I don't like it when versions change out from under me and I am not expecting it. I would rather use an old version than have unexpected problems. So there, now we got a URL loader, sweet. Okay, what plugins did we have here? Oh, here's how I got like that version and build time to inject in. That's fine, cool. All right, so that should be enough, I think. Oh, we need to do something with this main TSX file. What does main TSX do? That's just our root of the game. So how preact works is you pull in h and render from the preact module. We don't have anything like that yet. We don't have anything like that yet. We're gonna figure out what the root element is that we want to like render our game into, which we called main app. So document app as an HTML element, and we are going to render something. In the future, we'll render like a React component thing, but for now, let's render something to prove that this works. Let's just render hello world. Cool. All right. So that should be enough to start something, I think. I want to make sure I'm using the right version of Node because I have lots of different apps that run different versions. So I'm using NVM to make sure I'm on 16.17. Let's make sure I have the correct version of all my dependencies. It looks like I installed URL loader with the wrong version of Node, and now it's yelling at me. Cool, cool. And then we should be able to do npm run watch. And hopefully that does something. Ooh, yeah, we probably want network connections. 300 errors. That's not good. Oof, oof, so many problems. Type expected. Do I need to create that docs folder? Maybe I need to do, oh, you know what I bet I need to do? I bet I need to do npm run build first to do one build from Webpack. Nope, same 300 errors. That's super duper. Modern software development, scrolling through npm errors. Well, it did generate stuff. It did put the script in there, and it did create all the junk. We just didn't get the stuff we needed to get. What do we think is going on here? Hi, Tori. Well, the first thing we should always do is blow away node modules, because I assume that we got something wrong. Let's blow away package lock too. You know, in my other project, for some reason, URL loader, it shouldn't be a main dependency. It should just be a dev dependency, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay, super. And has no exported member. So I'm checking my other app to see if that was in a broken state. No. Okay. The other thing that was different was I did do a minor version update on NVM, which I don't really want to faff around with if that's the problem here. So let's do our thing and blow this all away again. Oh, this is the worst. This is the worst part of like web development, is dealing with disaster that is NPM. Not NPM, the whole ecosystem. All right, let's try that again. All right, same 300 errors. I am missing something else. Well, it is time to resort to some Googling, I think. TypeScript version. What version of TypeScript am I using? I am using less than 4. I'm using 3.7.5. Well, what is the current version of TypeScript? 4.8.3. It's a pretty big jump. Oh, that was dumb. That was literally dumb. All right, so what happened here is, like, even though I use the same locked versions of everything between, you know, this old project and this new project, some freaking dependency downstream needed a newer version of, like, the type definition or some shit. And so I had to upgrade the version of TypeScript just to get like the types to come down. Now, I'm not doing anything particularly advanced with TypeScript, so I don't think this version change is going to be a problem, but it still kind of sucks. Anyway, npm, let's do npm run watch now and see if we can get our app to load. Hey, cool. Open up localhost. I have this dev profile in my Chrome that I like to use so that it doesn't have any junk in it. And there's our hello world. All right, so we have Preact rendering, we have Webpack building, we have a very simple source. I would say we are at a commit point. We're working on main, which normally is probably not a good idea, but like I'm the only one writing this thing, so who cares? Let's not invent ceremony we don't need. Let's not, if we don't have to do that. That didn't actually fix our problem. Let's go ahead and just rejigger this with the new version of Node and make sure that that works correctly. Ooh. Well, all right, maybe not. Because I'm not willing to fix that for that kind of problem. Ah, seriously? Okay. Dependency hell. All right, what is it yelling at me about? Awesome TypeScript loader. Okay. Well, all right, I suppose I get that awesome TypeScript loader might change with an upgrade to TypeScript. So what do you want from me now? 5, 2, 1. Four years ago. Oh. So it's saying that the TypeScript, awesome TypeScript loader, which has not been updated in 4 years, says that it needs 2.7 or 3, and we have now upgraded to 4. So they just haven't done anything with this. But I don't really want to learn a new TypeScript loader, so maybe I do. What the? Webpack TypeScript loader. Is there a new one? Sure, I guess we'll just try it. Oh, this is the kind of shit that just sucks. All right, we shouldn't need to change our TypeScript config. How does it want us to use TS loader? We are going to take those things out. That's bullshit. TSX, and I guess this becomes TS loader. And I hope that all works. I'm going to blow these away one more time just because I changed that upstring version. Oh, it's this kind of faffing around that really just pisses me off. It makes me want to not write code. Because it's been, I don't know, 20 minutes and we haven't even like built real shit yet. Does this work? Okay. All right, I mean, I guess it's working. No issues. Okay, let's commit that then. All right, so we have our package and our Webpack config and our simple HTML doc. I don't know that I want to actually commit that yet. So we're going to be shoving a bunch of stuff here into docs, but I'm not convinced that I want to deploy that yet. If I did want to use GitHub Pages, I'm going to need to push this with like a production version. But for now, until I'm ready to do that, I think I'm just going to ignore the directory and not send anything up there. We might revisit that later. Hello world. Cool. Push that on up. All right, we got something working, which is more than we had before. What tech stack am I using? This is Preact. All right, let's have a look at our to-do. We got the first thing done. So now let's build a setup screen that takes the name somehow. But in order to do that, we're probably going to need a few different steps. So in our source, we're going to need like our main object. These things are just like our bootloaders, for lack of a better term. So let's create the game, which I'm just going to call game because why not? And in my other game, this did a whole bunch of stuff. It was a component that managed state and rendered a bunch of fun things. Now, we're not going to be anywhere that complicated yet, but we might get there. So let's go over here just so we can see what's going on. We're going to take the same thing from Preact to get started. And we are going to export class game. We'll extend a component. And I know there's like a functional way to do this, but I don't like that personally. I don't really have a reason to not like it, just that I always end up having to like rip it apart and do it a more complicated way. So I may as well just start the way that I think it's going to end up. Let's build our constructor, or no, what does this thing need? Implement, oh, it needs a render. Cool. I don't use any of this, so fine. And then sure, why not? I've never done the component child thing before, but that's what it wanted to figure out, so let's do that. So let's say this thing is a div with class game, and we are just going to say, hello, I am the game. Oh, we need to return that. We're professionals here. Oh, you think I'm a React function, and I am not a React function. I am a Preact function. I am too cool for you, so we are going to switch to this. What don't you like? Can't find name React. Seriously, what the fuck? Is this actually going to stop me, or is this just type? All right, so this is VS Code getting in my way. Yes, I did mean Preact. But I didn't say the word React. So VS Code. Ugh, so dumb. JS Factory, Agent React, JS. Yep. Okay. Let's try that. Okay. Super. Nobody's running into this problem. Except this one dude in Southeast Asia. Do we need to upgrade Preact? 10, 11. Maybe let's just try that. Okay. TypeScript 411, cool. That's what we're doing. I don't use Babel. This is what I'm trying to do right here. Huh. Cannot find name Preact. Does this even work? I don't think it will, but nope. Same problem. Ugh, this is gonna be so annoying. Okay, we're going to do something terrible because this is not cool. I don't have time to fuck around with these changing dependencies that they all are building. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to like force these old versions that I know work. Why do they keep doing that? Oh, I guess that is there. And we're just going to stop faffing about with all these version upgrades and whatnot. And we are just going to use this thing literally like I wanted to before. Oh. Yeah, warn. I don't care. I do not care. Oh, I had all this garbage in here. That's not necessary, any of it. And we're just going to copy the basic structure U too. Annie. So we're back to 16. I don't know why that did that. I don't want to go to that. I want to go back. You are still angry. And that fucking sucks. Something has gone and changed on me, and I don't like it. So I guess what we're going to do Well, I guess we're just going to like maybe start this thing from scratch using the CLI. I hate that, but seriously, yeah. Well, this has not gone to plan. Because even though I made a app that did exactly this stuff like not 2 months ago, apparently all of the underlying versions have changed and none of the code just works as it is, which is really the worst part about the JavaScript ecosystem, is everybody's changing things too fast. And it's not getting better. Do. Watching status bars. So I'm just like running this in like a subdirectory just so I can see what comes out the other side. React more like repulsive. Hell yeah. Oh my god. I am not fucking installing. Yeah, that's what I want. A simple, minimal hello world template. Directory for the app. Yeah, that's where I want it. Sure, install the dependencies. No. I guess, sure. Invalid package name. Super duper. Is it going to make me do everything again? Directory to create the app. Todd1. Let's call it Todd1. Yeah, let's install the dependencies. No, let's not use yarn. No, let's not make a Git repository. You gonna do a thing? This is JavaScript, Lemon. There's no avoiding error messages. No wonder like new people struggle to like know things. There's so many layers of indirection here that is just stupid ridiculous. Okay, so what did we get? Look at all this shit. Okay. Sure. Oof, I do not want to set up routing. This is the worst. Like, you did not give me TypeScript, and like there's all kinds of like magic incantations here. Like the fact that this is a default function called app means everything gets wired up in here. But like at no point did we bring it in. Was there a TypeScript option in this thing? Oh, I don't know. There was. Okay, let's try it again. Direct for the app. Todd 2. Todd 2. Yep, install dependencies. No, not with yarn. No, not that. Oh, it's great to have some heckles. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you. So while we're waiting for these status bars to go, let's just revisit here what we're doing. Right now, we are trying to figure out why JavaScript is a big pile of poop. All right, we got another one. Let's have a look at this one. Holy shit, look at all the crap that they threw in here. I suppose this is like every option. Okay. Ooh, even tests. Ugh. All right, do we have the same magic? Yep, okay, export default app. Routes, oh shit. So still lots of magic that I do not enjoy. Let's see. Let's just go crazy here and see if I can literally just lift these alternate compiler options out of their recommendation and get this thing to work. Nope, it still hates that. Let's see if their way of doing it works with my Oh, it does not. That works though. Okay, so I think we're going to call it right here because this sucks. And I'm going to reevaluate what I'm doing here because I've spent all morning faffing around with versions and trying to get this basic thing to load. So we're going to reevaluate whether or not any of this shit is worth it and start again maybe this afternoon, maybe tomorrow after I have some time to think about it. So thanks, I guess. Yeah. All right. So thanks, everybody. We'll try this again sometime.